Hello, you are listening to Everyday Superpower, where we talk about body language, the communication of the nonverbal, okay? Talk about attraction, we talk about success, and how you yourself can manifest the reality you want by portraying yourself in a certain manner and observing the people around you. Okay, it's the real game now. Down in the description of the video there'll be two links at this moment in time at least. One of them will be to a playlist which covers the entire body language dictionary. Alright, so if you are interested in knowing the A to B, the top to bottom of body language, click that through. It'll take you through to my YouTube page, YouTube playlist. Aside that, there is a link that will link you to Patreon, as to where you will join me in observing, analysing, assessing and putting the language into action, where we watch real dates with real people. Okay, that's the real game over there. You'll learn stuff you won't learn anywhere else. That is assured. Yeah? So, today's video I'm going to talk about catching her reacting in real time. Alright, and we're going to go into depth regarding that. You know, we go into a bit of depth. We don't mess around. This will work both sides, alright? My viewership is generally male, so I speak to you first and foremost, but it's gonna apply on both sides, alright? So, catch a reaction in real time. I'm not talking about observing her, you know, and thinking back. And to put a long story short, you need to be observational. You need to observe every second, every millisecond, every minute detail as to where you're paying attention. The thing is, initially when you start assessing and looking and observing, your mind might wander. Okay, you might not be able to follow the conversation as well. You might not be able to engage as well as you could do, purely as you are consciously trying to pay attention and observe the signals and behaviors the person before you is emitting. Alright, that's completely understandable. But as you start to see the patterns, and as you start to create a database through your own biological pattern recognition and understanding, it will start to develop momentum, and it will start to snowball, and you will start to internalize reading people non-consciously. You'll be able to pick up on slight little maneuvers outside of your tunnel vision, let's say, more so in your peripheral view as opposed to what you're looking at directly, and you'll be able to understand. Now, the video is about doing it in real time, so you say someone, and this isn't necessarily even going to come down simply to attraction and relationships and so forth. You could go to your friend and say, hey, have you seen where my money's gone? And in that split second you will see a real reaction from that person. They will try to disguise it if they've, let's say they have stolen something from you, or if they know the person who has done. You will see an expression of shock just flash across their face, right? And the thing is, it will be such a micro expression, that's the term for it, that not only is it going to be incredibly honest of a reaction, but you wouldn't notice that if you weren't paying incredibly close attention. Now, this is the tough bit, because when I say observe and see things happen in real time, this is why you need to become so accustomed to paying attention to people, purely as if you see that split less than a second behavior, it's very, very easy. Take it from me. It's very, very easy to get lost in the train of thought, questioning and trying to work out what that expression was in regards to, and where that expression was rooted as the conversation continues, because you still have to keep up with your engagement, but in the back of your mind now, in your conscience, you're too busy trying to assess what you saw 5 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago, 15 seconds ago, as you continue talking. So it's very easy to develop this backlog of information. But still, regardless, this is putting you through a trial, a fire. What's going to happen is you're going to get quicker at assessing and understanding these behaviors, because you've seen it before in the past. okay? And you might know it might just be something that's to be thrown away. Okay, that was a bizarre reaction. Let's just continue talking and see if further behaviors enhance and, re-elaborate the message I thought I just saw in this person. Okay, now let's move back to attraction. You're speaking to a woman, or you just see a woman, right? And she looks at you. She might act in the same way. You might see a fleeting expression of shock or joy just sweep across her face ever so momentarily. Okay? When you are talking about a mutual friend, you are looking at her, to her face, in her eyes, and then every so often you're glancing elsewhere to catch your thoughts and not be too intense, but in your peripheral view, you are seeing her massage the palm of her hand with the same hand. She's using her thumb to just sort of brush against the inside of her fingers, if not her palm. Okay? That's a pacifying behavior. We talk about pacifying behaviors, people. If I'm sort of speaking a lot of jargon to you right now, please look at the link in the video of the description, which will take you to my YouTube playlist entitled The Catalogue of Body Language. You'll learn all of this, and it's global, okay? Whether you're in England, America, Korea, Spain, France, Canada, Russia, Africa, it does not matter, okay? We're all human, we're all rooted with the same evolutionary processes. It's only minute differences and, different approaches through our childhood development, which is sort of tweaked our non-verbal communication. Generally, it is all the same. So click that link and find out what I'm talking about if you can't follow. So the pacifying behavior begins. Positive endorphins are being sent to the brain at this point in response to the stressful stimuli of you talking about this person. Now you have to understand, why is she reacting in such a manner? Is it the conversation topic? Is it the person in question? Is it the way you're speaking about the person? You have to work these things out in real time, alright? You're speaking to someone, you ask them to do something in one way or another, alright? Maybe it's a positive request. So you see them trying to hide their emotion, but a smile just sweep across their face ever so slightly. Is it a real smile, first and foremost? Or is it a tight-lipped, forced smile, which might not necessarily be a negative thing, but isn't a real smile, and it's just more of a polite gesture. Okay? Indicators of interest, right? In a world where, I come from a world which is called England, yeah, and in England we don't communicate with each other as openly as other places of the world, but the subconscious still sings and screams in communication. So in a way, in places like where I'm based, and if you're in America, I assume it's the same, possibly, learning this language is the most important thing, because you will see more than 90%, 95% of the reality of what that person means and feels, because they won't expose it otherwise, right? So, indicators of interest. The pacifying behavior, as I referenced earlier. Do you make them feel nervous? Why are you making them feel nervous? Are they nervous because they're threatened? As you speak to them in real time, you will see real response, and in real response over real time, you may see them either finding themselves more comfortable in your presence, you may find them mirroring what you do in harmony as two become one. You may find them start to stray away, push away, start to disconnect and create this wall between them as you say to them, I don't think I can do Tuesday, and you see them symbolically place an object between you both. Okay, as you are sitting at opposite sides of the table and now there is a pint glass placed between you as opposed to an open space. That is a barrier, it's an obstacle, a non-verbal obstacle to protect, their threatened self. And they might not consciously feel threatened, but subconsciously they do. Subconsciously their mind is telling them that you are a potential predator. Not that you're acting in a predatory way, but these are the evolutionary triggers that are being put in place that you are seeing in real time. And on that, I'm going to sign out. So to re-clarify, when it comes to observing in real time, it's a necessity, because that's really the only way you're going to be able to clock on to where you take the conversation, how you're making the person feel, how they feel towards what you say, how you look at them. And that being said, that's a little food for thought. I'm signing out. Peace.